Good evening. I'm Keisha Butts with a CTV News update. Governor Larry Hogan today is signing a $577 million settlement bill with the state's 4 HBCUs. Hogan is signing the bill at Bowie State University. The measure, which effectively ends the 15-year-old lawsuit brought on behalf of Bowie, Morgan State, Coppin, and the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, requires the state to spend an extra $577 million on the schools over 10 years. Supporters say Hogan, who had initially offered to settle the suit for $100 million, made the right move. Dr. Aminta Bro says it will make the state's HBCUs more competitive.
I'm excited for the opportunities for us to develop new academic programs, innovative programs that keep us at the forefront in being able to compete and making sure that we're able to garner more students who want to come to Bowie State University. So opening up those opportunities, but providing academic programs that are relevant for today's workforce needs, and also being able to create innovative programs that keep us on the cutting edge. So as the workplaces are changing, industries are changing, everything is changing, today, we need to be competitive and able to ensure that our students, when they graduate, they're able to hit the ground running.
The extra funding is expected to flow to the universities starting in 2023. Howard County is ending its detainer agreement with the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. County Executive Calvin Ball made the announcement. ICE now has 60 days to move its current detainees at the county's detention center. Ball says the Trump administration weaponized the program.
We did revamp the contract to really focus in on violent criminals, those who were convicted of things like rape, murder, what have you, and not house the lesser offenses. But now that we're seeing more progress with the Biden-Harris administration, we're seeing a dedication and commitment to ensure that our undocumented immigrants are treated fairly and justly. I think now is the time to end that contract.
The Foreign-Born Information and Referral Network will be working with Howard County's current detainees. Democrats are fighting back against new voting restrictions being considered in several states. Senator Chris Van Hollen took to the Senate floor to attack the GOP-led efforts. Van Hollen says the efforts stem from the last election when former President Trump claimed that votes were rigged. The Democrat says that false claim helped spark the January 6th insurrection.
It is a pernicious and insidious lie that has caused Republican state legislatures across the country to try to build up barriers to voting, limiting vote by mail, reducing the number of days for early voting, even making it illegal in Georgia for anyone to provide water to someone waiting in line to vote.
Van Hollen spoke on the Senate floor yesterday in favor of new voting rights legislation. The latest COVID-19 numbers for Maryland indicate a rise in cases. 1,173 people tested positive for the disease over the past 24 hours. That's more than 450 higher than yesterday's number. Deaths, too, are up. 19 Marylanders died. That's 8 more than yesterday. Governor Larry Hogan says 6 new mass vaccination clinics will open in Maryland beginning next month, including one in Montgomery County. A mass vaccination site will open at Montgomery College in Germantown the week of April 5th. The Timonium Fairgrounds in Baltimore County will also be converted into a vaccination center. Anne Arundel, Frederick, Howard, and Harford counties will get sites as well. One clinic is expected to open tomorrow at Hagerstown Premium Outlets.
We've obviously been in discussions with all of these locations. It takes an awful lot of work, and Chaz here has been leading the team at MEMA, but working together with health partners, with all the agencies and state government, with our county partners to try to be ready and to study where they should be and what it takes to get them open. But you can't open them without the vaccines, and so the timing of this is very closely aligned. A lot of work took place before today's announcement. But before we knew what we were told today by the White House, we couldn't be positive that we don't want to open a mass vac site with no vaccines. So the supply is coming, and we will be as prepared as anybody in the country.
Meantime, Hogan says the state's Phase 2B vaccination plan will now include residents 16 and older with disabilities. Officials ask that you pre-register. A Senate committee has advanced a complementary bill to the education reform measure known as the Blueprint for Maryland's Future. The bill was enacted into law this year. Known as Kerwin 2.0, the bill would adjust the timeline for the law, and it addresses the learning loss that occurred during the pandemic. Committee Chairman Senator Paul Pinsky says the aim is to get students back up to grade level. The new measure would expand tutoring to include grades 4 through 12. Police arrest a man who reportedly shot at officers in Temple Hills back on March 10th. He is 29-year-old Roy Fowler. Fowler allegedly shot at officers during an attempted traffic stop on Branch Avenue. None of the officers were injured. Fowler has been charged with attempted first-degree murder. Prince George's police are investigating a double shooting that left one man dead and another critically wounded. It happened just after 8 o'clock last night in the 7400 block of West Park Drive in Lewisdale. The deceased man has been identified as 35-year-old Henry Cruz of Gaithersburg. The identity of the other man has not been released. Police say the crime does not appear to be random. They are asking anyone who may have information on the shooting to call 1-866-411-TIPS. You're watching CTV News. I'm Keisha Butts. We'll be back in one moment.
For the latest information on COVID-19 in Maryland, visit the State Health Department website. That's health.maryland.gov. Again, health.maryland.gov. Click the link to the COVID-19 information portal. There you'll find all the latest information about coronavirus. You'll find daily updates on cases and fatalities. Answers to questions about testing and the governor's stay-at-home order are available as well. For specific information about Prince George's, visit princegeorgescountymd.gov. That's princegeorgescountymd.gov. The site offers information about local services for residents and businesses. There's a link for COVID-19 relief donations. Also, food pantry locations are listed. And if you have any questions, call the county COVID-19 hotline at 301-883-6627. That's 301-883-6627.
I moved to Florida with literally pennies in my pocket and a prayer. I needed a new start. Dacian looks like a very typical 3-year-old until you ask him, "What's your name? How old are you?" My son has a lot of behaviors that would show as being autistic. Most kids can tolerate a variety of foods, but unfortunately for Dacian, everything has to be organic and raw. I wasn't ashamed to go to the food pantries. It's expensive to eat healthy, and nutrition is very important to Dacian's health. The healthy organic food that we receive dramatically helped his social skills. Most people would say, she really doesn't have much of a life. But to me, I have everything right there next to me and my son.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Welcome back. The Department of Parks and Recreation announces the reopening of some facilities. Beginning on March 29th, the Nature Center at Watkins Park will be back in business. Similar facilities at Mount Rainier and Clearwater are set to reopen. Bladensburg Waterfront and Patuxent River Park are also on the list. The department is also opening 12 fitness rooms and gymnasiums countywide. Again, reopening day is March 29th. To see the entire list of what will open, go to pgparks.com. Face coverings will be required. The school system's mobile meal program is ending today. It's the last day of service until schools reopen in April. Spring break begins on Monday. Officials say meal pickups resume on Wednesday, April 7th for distance learners. In-person food service begins on April 8th for students in hybrid classes. The American Red Cross makes an appeal for your help. Today is Red Cross Giving Back across the country. The group says its work responding to emergencies nationwide is ongoing. While many American families are struggling financially, the Red Cross says disasters heighten the problem.
As families have struggled through these disasters and the pandemic, the financial pressure on their household is quite extreme. And so studies have shown that more than 30% of adults may not have up to $400 for unexpected emergencies. And so that pressure is making it harder for people to prepare, making it harder for families to have the resources on hand, which is why the Red Cross is so important and why our mission is so important, to be there when disasters strike, to make sure we can provide families with shelter and feeding and that health and mental health support when they need it the most.
For more information, visit redcross.org. The number of fatal wrong-way crashes on Maryland roads is increasing. Last month, 2 women were killed in a wrong-way crash on Route 50 near Cheverly, according to AAA Mid-Atlantic. 35 people across Maryland were killed in wrong-way accidents between 2015 and 2018. That number is up 33% from 2010 to 2014. AAA says nationwide approximately 500 people are killed each year in wrong-way crashes. 6 out of 10 of these accidents involve alcohol. Concerned about the controversial maglev train project, you now have more time to voice your opinion. The public comment period has been extended through May 24th. If approved, the high-speed train would take passengers from D.C. to New York in an hour. Proponents argue that it would create thousands of jobs. Critics worry about the environmental impact to communities like Bladensburg, Greenbelt, and Laurel. Montgomery County Executive Mark Elrich has a challenger. Businessman David Blair says he's running against Elrich again in 2022. Blair narrowly lost to Elrich in the 2018 Democratic primary. The businessman says he'll bring financial discipline to county government. Elrich says he's proud of his record of supporting child care and mental health programs. Bowie State University's ROTC program wins a prestigious honor from the U.S. Army Cadet Command. For the first time ever, BSU is a winner of the MacArthur Award for 2019 to 2020. The honor recognizes 8 schools from almost 300 ROTC programs in the U.S. Cadet Latifa Afalabi, who already has a contract with the Army, says she's proud of the university.
Bowie State definitely deserves that award. We definitely do a lot of things, and Cadre does do a lot of things for the program and to help improve the cadets. So it's nice to know that, we're being recognized as a top-notch program that produces good and efficient officers moving forward.
We have an opportunity, being in the National Capital Region, to train a lot more than, maybe a typical unit that's in a rural area.
This is also the first time an HBCU has received this recognition since 2001. Well, let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, rainy and cloudy with a low around 52. Thursday, partly sunny and warmer with a high near 72 and a low around 61 degrees. Friday, mostly sunny and breezy. Daytime temps average near the upper 70s with an evening low around 51. Saturday, more sunny skies with a high near 71 and a low around 54. And now for the community calendar. The Prince George's County Local Development Council is now accepting grant applications for fiscal year 2021. The local impact grant supports nonprofits in Prince George's County near MGM National Harbor. Applications must be submitted by Friday, April 16th. To email the address on your screen. For more information, visit www.princegeorgescountymd.gov and search for Local Development Council. And that wraps up our CTV News update. Join us again tomorrow at 4:30. Have a good night.